Welcome to San Antonio, Texas. Over the next 2 days, we are going to be exploring all of the food, history, and culture that this incredible city has to offer. This is our very first time in San Antonio, so I'm very excited because right there behind me is the Alamo, which, if you are not familiar, it is a historic Spanish mission that was constructed in, I believe, the 1700s. And it's probably most notable for being the site of the Battle of the Alamo in 1836. But mostly I just wanted to ask them if they have a basement, which I already know they don't.
I think it might be a sad moment for us both when we reinforce that there's no basement in the Alamo. But we are going to take a big all-inclusive tour of San Antonio tomorrow, and we'll learn more about that.
I knew that we would be coming to the touristy part of San Antonio by visiting the things that we have planned today, but I didn't realize that it was going to be so touristy that there would be like Ripley's owned franchises down this entire block that faces the Alamo. It's pretty touristy. Seems appropriate that they have a Davy Crockett Lego in the window, considering Davy Crockett is one of the probably most notable people that died here at the Battle of the Alamo. I just appreciate that someone else has a similar sense of humor to us. As much as I love the fact that they have a British pub here on the Riverwalk and that you can get things like pork cracklings, I'm gonna go ahead and pass because I think being in San Antonio, we need to get some true Tex-Mex. That's what it's about, right? The Riverwalk is a 15-mile network of pathways, walkways along the San Antonio River. Probably most notable is the sections of the downtown part. We're gonna walk about a mile of it today. Oh man, this is so exciting listening to this riverboat. He said that Jennifer Lopez is in Selena in the movie, sitting on the bench there. I'm gonna have to look it up later. I'm gonna have to rewatch Selena. I feel like we have emerged above ground again from the Riverwalk. We were trying to decide whether we wanted to go to the oldest restaurant on the Riverwalk, Casa Rio, or if we wanted to walk down to Market Square and get like some street food. And I think that's the option we've picked. Just walking downtown though, it's really lovely. It's weird, it's a holiday weekend, and yet the vibes here are just like chill, not a lot of people. I don't know, I like it. This is like my pace of life and like my pace of tourism too, so I am into it. Did we just find a weeping angel in San Antonio?
It's kind of got some Whovian vibes. It's a bit creepy. This is historic Market Square. It's the largest Mexican market in America. It's 3 blocks full of a ton of shops, restaurants, and just all sorts of Mexican goodness.
There are over 100 locally owned businesses that operate here, and we are gonna check them all out. I have a couple missions. One is that we have not eaten yet today, so we gotta find some food. And the second one is that I want a Selena souvenir from Texas. It's a thing. I may have found it. I may have found my purchase. Or I could just get a Miller Lite hat that says El Jefe. That might be my real souvenir. We got dropped off by an Uber, so a margarita is very tempting.
It's true. You're good. We just need to stop at an agua fresca booth. Got a little pina. It's pretty good.
Oh. It is so crisp and refreshing on a kind of hot and humid day. Perfect. Now let's get actual food.
We picked up some gorditas. Kara got a bean and cheese one, and I got a ground beef one from a nice little booth. They look pretty good. Gonna have to try them.
Cheers. Cheers.
It was cool that you could watch them make the tortilla shell thing. Is it a tortilla? I don't know. But it was really fresh and crisp and a little hotter than I expected it to be, but really good. We've made our way to the indoor air-conditioned part of the market, and we're both okay with that.
I found my Selena purchase. I got a bag, which feels appropriate because I wouldn't wear a t-shirt, but I will definitely utilize a bag. And I'm realizing there were so many choices, and I see even more choices, and now I gotta look through those too.
I don't know. I think you made the right choice.
I agree. I got a good one. There are a lot of choices though. Like, give me 3 and then I'll pick one of those. Actually, I know a lot of our audience is in the UK. Do you guys even know who Selena is? She's like a Mexican-American icon, and I don't know. I don't know if she crossed over the pond that direction or not. Well, this has been a fun experience. I crossed the 2 things off of my list here at Market Square that I wanted to accomplish: getting some food and getting my Selena item. I think we're gonna call it a day here today, but we have a full day planned tomorrow, so we will see you then. Good morning. We had a little bit of a rough start this morning because the coffee shop that we tried to start at was closed. However, we happened upon this cute little Mexican bakery called La Panderia, and it was amazing. There were some amazing looking choices in there as far as pastries go, but I ended up getting a croissant breakfast sandwich, and Jeremy got an El Pastor lunch sandwich that I think we were both very pleased. So fate worked out, and now we are about to go take a tour. I'm really excited because we are about to embark on a 5-hour small group tour that is going to show us all of the best, most amazing sights and things to experience here in San Antonio.
Our day started out with a tour of the Alamo, which is really cool, but also really small and definitely no basement.
I do find it a little sus that there's no basement, but they have AC in there. I think part of the AC might be the fact that they're trying to preserve it. I guess it's a limestone building and it is deteriorating, and so they're trying to figure out how to preserve it.
It is kind of wild that something that was built to be a mission and like a religious place became a fortification and a place where America fought a battle.
I love visiting historical places. I love learning about the history of places like the Alamo. However, I think it speaks volumes about the kind of tourist I am that my favorite fact our tour guide has told us today is that they're building a new museum here, and that Phil Collins is donating a whole bunch of artifacts. And I'm like, why does Phil Collins have a bunch of artifacts of the Alamo? I don't know, but I love it, and it's cool that he's gonna donate them here. I wanted to take a moment to interrupt this tour to thank today's sponsor, GetYourGuide. We actually booked the tour through GetYourGuide, and if you're not already familiar, GetYourGuide is the best place to unlock the world's most unforgettable experiences for travelers.
They offer 60,000 curated experiences in over 3,600 destinations worldwide, from tickets to top sites to one-of-a-kind local tours.
We booked our tickets through their website, which was a really easy process, but you can also use their app, which allows you to access your tickets right in the app. No printing required.
What's amazing about GetYourGuide is that the experiences that you can book are led by local knowledgeable experts, and they have a bunch of really cool looking experiences that you can choose from.
We went with the tour in San Antonio because it was a well-rated tour, and we just felt like it was a good price for everything that was included, especially considering it was a small group setting. There was only one other person on the tour with us, and I just felt like we got to have so much knowledge and personal information and recommendations from our tour guide because of that setting.
Rest assured, whatever you book on GetYourGuide, you have 24/7 support and free cancellation up to 24 hours before.
Click the link in the description to get started booking your next unforgettable experience using GetYourGuide. Our tour guide has now brought us to Mission San Jose. It is really a beautiful structure and a lot more grand than the Alamo. The Alamo is very little, and this just seems a lot more epic. This window is significant. It is the Rose Window because it's named after the first female saint in Texas. So our tour guide was just telling us that there's all these markings on the walls from when pirates and basically people in the 1800s just came in and started using these as target practice, carving their initials.
There are a total of 5 missions in this kind of general area, but this is probably one of the closest ones to downtown, and it is really grand and big, and it's really cool. I've never seen anything quite like it. We've been to some other missions, and the inside sort of reminds me of some of those, but none of them were on this scale.
This is the Tower of the Americas. This 750-foot tower was built as part of the 1968 World's Fair.
Our tour guide was telling us the biggest difference between this tower and the one in Seattle is this has a cement base, as where the one in Seattle has a steel base.
There's an inside and an outside area. Shall we venture outside?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Okay, this might be kind of a touristy thing to do, but I love that we can be like, oh look, we were right there.
It's true. I mean, we were other places.
There's the Alamo. There's even a handy dandy guide that'll tell you where the Hampton Inn is. We've made it to the last portion of our tour. We are gonna embark on a river cruise. It's gonna last about 30 minutes, and we're gonna learn about some of the history of the Riverwalk itself.
And now this part of the river right here in front of us, folks, now this is the Arneson. You can see 800 people here in the Arneson. And the sculpture here to the right represents a Spanish cowboy, a vaquero, herding cattle up to the Briscoe. And some very famous people you folks may have heard of were born here at the Knicks Hospital. Carol Burnett was born here at the Knicks, and Oliver North was born here.
It was really interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this river that goes through the downtown with all this shopping area, and it's cool to see that like some of it's man-made, but most of it's natural, and yeah, it was just interesting.
I agree. I think the Salina Bridge is the highlight, because I didn't even know before we came here that that was a significant piece of the Riverwalk. But yeah, that was a really nice tour, and I loved the tour that we took today. I just feel like we saw some of the more touristy things that there are to see in San Antonio, but I feel like we got a really good feeling. And the fact that our tour guide, Zach, is a local, we learned a lot about the history, and I feel like we got a really good sense of like what else we could do for the future from a local's perspective. So definitely recommend checking out GetYourGuide, because you can book a tour like this as well.
We had a really good time on all these tours, but we're gonna go find some food recommended by our tour guide. We were out looking for that San Antonio staple of barbacoa and Big Red, but sadly most of those places seem to close at 1 or 2, and we're a little after that. So we're going to the second recommendation of our tour guide, the Smoke Shack.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Oh my gosh, just look at that brisket. It looks beautiful. That mac and cheese looks like it has some
Brisket
bacon,
in it,
or is it brisket
pulled pork
or bacon?
or something? I don't know.
It's got something good in there.
Looks good.
You look like you have a pretty good potato salad.
Yeah.
I got mac and cheese also, and I opted for spicy creamed corn. It just sounded different.
Never had spicy creamed corn.
I never have either. So I got my brisket, I got my spicy garlic sausage.
This all looks really, really good, and I think it's time for us to dig in.
How's it going for you?
It's good. I've only tasted my sides so far, but I like both of them. It's a meaty mac and cheese, and now it's spicy creamed corn.
Oh, that's really good. It's not that spicy, but it's very flavorful. It's a little spicy. It's got a little heat to it. It's really good though. It's like kind of got this like sweet and spicy to it. And it's creamy and delicious. What about this mac and cheese?
Whatever it is, it's smoky and tasty.
Yeah, it's smoky. I feel like it has kind of some American cheese happening in it, which normally I wouldn't be a fan of, but somehow it works with it. It's just like nice and smoky and got a little bit of meaty happening, so I'm dropping it everywhere. It's perfect. But I am here for the main show. My favorite kind of barbecue is brisket. And we have some pretty high brisket standards from the gas station barbecue that we used to eat at in Florida. Oh wow, this honestly rivals that. It has a different flavor, but it's so moist and tender and just like melts in your mouth. It's delicious. This is definitely like, definitely one of the best briskets I've ever had. Thank you, Zach, our tour guide, for the recommendation.
I'm gonna agree with you, Kara, that brisket is some of the best brisket I've ever had. It's maybe not quite at the tip top, but it's very good. And pulled pork, solid. All the sides are really good. I really like their homemade pickles. All in all, I would call this place definitely a success, and I would come back. We've had some delicious food. Now, Kara has one more stop on her agenda.
When they said everything was bigger in Texas, they weren't lying. This is, in fact, the world's largest pair of cowboy boots, and I can dig it. These bad boys are 30 feet tall. And when I called them the world's largest cowboy boots, I was actually incorrect. They're the world's largest boots in general, so they're a pretty big deal. I also wasn't expecting them to be in the parking lot of a mall, but here we are, and I like it. All right, I think that officially concludes our time here in San Antonio. I know there is plenty more to see. If you have any tips of things to see and do in San Antonio outside of like the touristy things downtown, please leave a comment and let us know. I have absolutely loved our time here. I keep telling Jeremy how much I love San Antonio. He's probably annoyed by how many times I've said it, but I could live here. I love it. I can't wait until we can come back. A huge thank you to Get Your Guide for sponsoring today's video. Also a huge thank you to our patrons for supporting our channel. If you're interested in getting access to perks like monthly postcards from us, or early access to videos, or even some special Patreon content, like we just filmed a video in Austin that's going to be Patreon exclusive. Leave a link in the description below for that. Go check it out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. See you later, Boots. It's been real.